very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. It's the first edition of Sports Tonight for the week. It's a Monday night. Promises to be fun-filled, exciting as always. My name is Tony Bitoye. Thank you for joining us. And I leave a promise with you that tonight we will make it as exciting as possible. Not just tonight, all through this week. Every opportunity we have to do this show, to talk sports, to inform, educate, we will make the best of it and make sure that it's not a waste of time for you. So thank you once again and welcome to the show. My name is Tony Ibitoye. Let me start by introducing very quickly to you those starting off the show with me tonight, and then I'll give you an idea of what we'll be doing on the program this Monday. Onye Wuchimachuku, always here on Monday, is with us on the show. Onye, good to have you join us on Sports Tonight.
Thank you very much, Tony.
And of course, Austin is also on the show. Austin will be with us for the first part of the show, and we will be taking a look at the Commonwealth Games. Team Nigeria, about this time, should be coming out of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport to a rousing welcome. But Austin will be telling us all about it, what are the positives from the Commonwealth Games and all of that. Austin, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Good to be here again, Tony. Like yesterday, the Commonwealth Games are come and gone. We need to wait for 2018 now in Australia for the next one. So far, not a bad outing for Nigeria.
Not a bad one. Yeah, not a bad one at all for Nigeria. At least we put up one of our best performances in recent times. The second best performance ever from Team Nigeria. We'll talk about it extensively on the program tonight. Later on the show, Sisi will be joining us. We'll be taking a comprehensive look at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. A lot of people do not even understand or are not putting their minds to it that Nigeria is involved in the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. And it's starting tomorrow in Canada. The Falconets are there. We'll be trying to do what they did in 2010 and even go one better. 2010, they got to the finals and lost to the host, Germany. This year, we're looking at the Falconets doing one better. So we'll be giving you a comprehensive preview of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Sisi will be joining us then to talk about the Under-20 girls and what their chances will be at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. We will also use that opportunity to reflect on the Nigeria Women League. Week 18 games played over the weekend. A lot of amazing stories. Sisi has got all the details for us. We will also look at the log, those who are at the top, those who are struggling, all of that. Comprehensive review of the Women's League will be on Sports Tonight this Monday. We expect Sisi to join us for that as we go on. All right, and then the last part of the show tonight, we'll focus on domestic football and the politics of Nigerian football. Of course, on Friday, we'll drop a little hint of what is going on in Abuja. Today is supposed to be the day that submission and endorsement of forms for those interested in getting onto the board of the Nigerian Football Federation. Today is supposed to be the closing date, but it's an amazing story from Abuja. We'll take you to Abuja later on the show to listen to one of our friends, a reporter whose judgment we trust and can rely on to tell us exactly what went down in Abuja today. It was a very interesting situation. We've been laughing about it, but really it calls for concern. It was supposed to be the busiest day for the Electoral Committee, their office, collecting forms, giving out forms, just to beat the deadline. But guess what? It was under lock and key. Nobody saw anybody. Nobody could buy forms. Nobody could submit forms. It's really an interesting situation. We'll talk about it extensively later on the show. And of course, over the weekend, 2015, Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers were played across the African continent. We will talk about it as well. And now, we now know the fourth team in Nigeria's group. We'll talk about that as well. And believe it or not, September 5th, Nigeria will be back on the march for continental glory to successfully defend the trophy we won in South Africa in 2013. Are we ready? Are we ready yet? Just about a month from now, that's when all of these will get underway. So we really need to put our house in order and get cracking for the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations. All of that for you. Of course, National League results of games played over the weekend will also come under focus, and we expect that Tobi Adepoju will be joining us for that as well on the show tonight. All right, so that's the setting. Promises to be exciting and fun-filled, as I said, and please come along with us. But gentlemen, before we go into all of these details, Austin, before we talk about the Commonwealth Games and all of that, sad news, more like breaking news coming through from Sierra Leone. Yeah. The other day it was Liberia that announced, because of the Ebola virus, they announced that no football will be played in Liberia. They stopped the league and they stopped all kinds of football in Liberia. But Sierra Leone, this evening, have also announced that no kind of football will be played in Sierra Leone because Ebola is really threatening, is devastating, is in full force, full flow.
Unwanted visitor in Africa, particularly creeping into our football, not a good one. And I think this is the right step for them to take. Put a hold on the games, see ways that we can prevent, which is of course better than cure. And I don't see us taking those right steps to actually curtail this virus. So, just as Seychelles said, take your AFCON qualifiers, we give you the ticket, go and play. We don't want. And then this new week we're here in Sierra Leone is not part of it. Not a good one for Africa, not a good one for football, but as it is, I think this is the right step.
But I'm worried because if something is strong enough to stop your football, Onye, is enough to stop all forms of activities. I mean, you can't go to the market, for example, because if we say football is high density game, people come around to watch a football game. What about the markets?
Well, that one could be curtailed. You know, when you are playing football, 11 players from both sides.
And then the crowd?
22 players. And it's a contact game.
Yeah.
You know, the virus is contacted through fluids and, contact. So there's no way you play football and say, I will not make contact with my opponents. So I think they took the right decision. And even the president of that country has declared some kind of emergency in the areas the virus is more prevalent. And they are even making house-to-house search. So is that serious? So I think they took the right. There is life after football.
So for Sierra Leone, no possibility probably. The AFCON is just a few weeks away, 1 month away. We'll go into the last round of the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations. Although they're already pulled out, and Liberia are already out of it. So it's a serious situation. Particularly Nigeria, today we discovered the second Nigerian. I mean, the first Nigerian really, but the second case in Nigeria.
The fact is that, God forbid, if the virus gets worse than this, we won't be talking about Nations Cup. If people are dying, then we won't be talking about football. So
life first before the excitement of football.
You must have life to play football. You must have life to watch football, even the referees, the officials. So I think they took the right decision. They let them, curtail the disease within the country and see how far they can go with it before they will now say, let's continue playing football. But as it is now, you can't be talking about football when people are dying.
So no Nations Cup for Sierra Leone. We are in the last round of the qualifiers because Seychelles pulled out and now they are also withdrawing.
And guys, what's just coming through my mind now, you see all sorts of
maybe kids. Seychelles will eventually go through now.
You see all sorts of kids at the at the coming Cup of Nations. You might probably see players wear full gear, trousers.
Yeah, but if you don't,
if possible, wear masks. Because not just that. I'm just trying to look at the so-called superstars in African football. I don't want to call them, so I know some players in the Super Eagles that will look at physics before they go close to them to even drop a tackle. So I think our federations should look at ways that they can actually, guard up players with different kits that will ensure that even when there's a contact and someone is not touching the flesh or passing the virus, but not a good one for sports in any way.
It's not. So for Sierra Leone, they got into the final round of the Nations Cup qualifiers because the Seychelles pulled out. It looks like now we're going to be waiting for an official pronouncement by CAF. Seychelles may just be backing because Sierra Leone are withdrawing from every kind of football. That is really very serious, and I think we hope that we can put an end to this scourge as quickly as possible. But Austin, let's go on. Before we do that, let's tell you that please join us and be a part of what we're doing. Is it the right step in the right direction for Sierra Leone to pull out of every kind of football, including a chance to be at the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations because of the Ebola virus? Talk to us on our feedback mechanism showing on your screen on Facebook, Channels iPhone Sports, and of course, those two handles on Twitter at Channels_Sports, at Tony Bitoye. They are also very active. We would like to interact with you on these subjects as we go along on Sports Tonight this Monday. All right, Austin, let's talk about the Commonwealth Games now. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We were not able to break the 11 gold medal target that we set for ourselves, but it was good. We equaled it.
Good improvement.
And we came close to breaking it so many times.
And at the end of the games, Nigeria recovered 36 medals, 11 gold, 11 silver, and 14 bronze. Let's go back in Delhi. Team Nigeria was placed 9th. This time around 8th on the table. On the medal table in New Delhi, it was 11 gold, 8 silver, and 14 bronze medals. Let's look at the positives from these events. Aside Chika Amahala, it's a good one for the youngsters. Shows there's a good future for sports if we don't abandon these guys. And
the fact that we're able to show dominance in 200 meters for the women and 100 meters for the women with Blessing.
For Blessing,
surely one of the highlights.
That's a sure blessing for the country. For her, it was to just come to this competition and consolidate, particularly with the names that we know that used to push out to the side, not competing. But beating Veronica Campbell also shows that she has some good quality. So Blessing getting 3 medals shows she is a force to reckon with in athletics. But I want to talk about some of the sports.
Can we build on this for the Olympics in 2 years?
Why not? Why not? You've got a fantastic talent in Brume. Your weightlifters are doing so well. Just as I spoke to Dan Igali, and he said we shouldn't come back and fold our hands and say it was a good game. We should just rest for 2 weeks and get to work. And I think that's the mentality that can actually sustain this momentum. Yes, we have what it takes to go to the Olympics and do well. Except for some names in table tennis that should say goodbye now and allow the younger guys to come up. The talents we have here can actually go to the Olympics and make a good name for themselves. Not forgetting the likes of Ojo or Lakpo. Maybe big presence for himself. It's a Brume. Nobody will actually look around her and say she can't compete anywhere. Just looking at her mentality alone. When she's actually going for the run before the jump, you can tell that she's going for gold, and then she got it. Aside that, our wrestlers, who will ever forget Oduayo, Adekroye? When you look at her and then the passion she has for what she does, you only want to come back and then give her all she needs to be better. What a race from Blessing Akagbare there. It just goes to show that if we invest in the right talent and then we prepare, we can actually conquer the world.
Let's just talk very briefly about Blessing before we come to you again and talk about the boxers, because they eventually got us medals. Not gold as we wanted, but they got something. They didn't come back empty-handed. A lot of reactions to Blessing's amazing performance. People are already sharing the glory and attack and counter-attack on who has worked hard, who has made Blessing what she is, and all of that. That's not what we need at this time. What we need now is to sit back